Nashville, Tennessee, truckers, we're here for you. My name's Kyle Jennings. I got my band over here. I brought some of my friends. We're going to play some music for y'all because we love you guys. We know you don't get a chance to get away as much as you can, so we brought the show to you. Here we go. Down at the end of a two-track lane, past the old tractor and the mountain of hay, there's a spot by the river where a little slice of heaven awaits. When the night's just right and my baby's in the mood, we'll pack a little cooler and some fishing food, soak that old boat where the deer and the catfish play. A perfect silhouette against the pale moonlight, we wed a little strand on a Friday night and cuddle up together as our bobbers wander out of sight. A leaf worm dragging at the bottom of the river, and knock a beer over as I lean in to give her a kiss. Lord knows we didn't come here to fish. There's moonlight on a clear night, fireflies lighting up the evening sky. The tree toads are singing, Lord, we never seem to leave them behind. A cool breeze dancing through her soggy lips, my heart beating harder with every kiss, just drifting down river, falling deeper in love. Don't care where we're going, just taking our time. Anytime we go trolling, by the edge of the shore, we lay an old blanket on the mossy floor, make a little love and get tangled underneath the stars. Race to the water for a late night swim, take her in my arms and make love again. We'll get lost in each other, it doesn't get better than this. 'Cause there's moonlight on a clear night, fireflies lighting up the evening sky. The tree toads are singing, Lord, we never seem to leave them behind. Cool breeze dancing through her soggy lips, my heart beating harder with every kiss, just drifting down river and falling deeper in love. Not a care where we're going, just taking our time. Anywhere that we end up, that'll be just fine. Anytime we go trolling, time we go trolling, trolling. Anytime we go trolling. She can be a little loud, but when you hear above the crowd, she's crazy. That's my baby. She plays the jukebox all night long. B12 is her favorite song, and she comes unwound, so turn it way up loud. Yeah, she's the first one on the floor and the last one out the door. Little miss, hard to handle, she loses control. When we're out, she loves putting on a show. There's a side to her that nobody knows, 'cause every night when we get home, the little miss hard to handle, so easy to hold. She can play a mean game of pool, love to shoot the quarters too, and she'll play all night. She loves the neon lights, straw hat red and her skin tight jeans only make a bigger scene, and she wears them well. She's raising hell. She's starting to fight on down the hall. I can't wait for her last call. Little miss, hard to handle, she loses control. When we're out, she loves putting on a show. There's a side to her that nobody knows, 'cause every night when we get home, little miss hard to handle, so easy to hold. Starting to fight on down the hall. Man, I can't wait for her last call. Little miss, hard to handle, she loses control. When we're out, she loves putting on a show. There's a side to her that nobody knows, 'cause every night when we get home, oh, little miss, hard to handle, she loses control. When we're out, she loves putting on a show. There's a side to her that nobody knows, 'cause every night when we get home, every night when we're alone, every night when we get home, little miss hard to handle, so easy to hold. All right, so I see some folks here who've been following me for a while, for a long time, and this is a new song. You guys haven't heard new stuff in a while, so. Begged her back about 1,000,000 times now. Wore the knees of my favorite jeans out, saying things I thought I'd never mean. Did enough just to keep her from leaving, but there was more of me she was needing, but I was busy doing other things. And her love wasn't made for a backseat. She was my almost, so close, no one chance at wonderful, but I was too blind, too damn dumb to see. She was the best thing. It almost happened to me. Sometimes I wonder how it might have been if I'd have only been a better man, the kind of man she always saw in me. But I can't take back what happened when I was too much of a fool to bend, and now she'll never see the man she's made of me. So Sometimes when a woman's gone, she's really gone. Now she was my almost, so close, my one chance. It wonderful, but I was too blind, too damn dumb to see. She was the best thing. It almost happened to me. She was my almost, so close, my one chance. And wonderful, but I was too blind, too damn dumb to see. She was my almost, so close, my one chance. And wonderful, but I was too blind, too damn dumb to see. She was the best thing. It almost happened, she was the best thing. It almost happened to me. It almost happened to me. It almost happened to me. She almost happened to me.
Thank you.
In the sun that warms a pane glass to your window every morn, I would hold you like a mother who cradles up her first newborn. The gust that rushes through your hair, the fresh air that you breathe, oh, that's where you'll find me. In the silk that runs across you when the evening is your host, oh, the light that shines in your eyes leaves your innocence exposed. And in the one thing that you long for when the rest is out of reach, oh, that's where you'll find me. And every time you find the strength to smile when you're sad, I'll be the everything that fills your heart up when you're glad. And the trials and the glories will bring you to your knees, oh, that's where you'll find me. In the road where you discover what's been hidden in your soul, from the dreams inside your head to the sand between your toes, and anything that you can think of, oh, that makes your spirit free, oh, that's where you'll find me. Every time you find the strength to smile when you're sad, I'll be the everything that fills your heart up when you're bad. And the trials and the glories that'll bring you to your knees. Well, that's where you'll find me. Oh, that's where you'll find All right, so I don't remember a lot of things growing up, but I don't remember like what I got for my first Christmas gift or my first bike or anything like that. But I remember the first time I heard the word prick. We were at a show to see Alabama. It was the first concert that I had been to, and we were waiting. It was hot as can be, and we're waiting for the show, and this group of bikers is over here, and my family's like my dad and my mom and myself are right here. And I remember this guy going, "You prick!" And I remember my dad turning around, and I heard him cussing. I'd heard him cussing, and I was kind of like, "Oh boy!" And I heard my dad turn around, and he goes, "Hey fellas, we got a family over here." And I remember thinking at 10 years old, my dad's fixing to get his ass whooped by a bunch of bikers. This is not going to be. It's not going to go over well. And so fast forward, we were cutting the last record that we had, and I decided to turn this into a song, and it's a great rendition of what happened that day. And I gained a whole new respect for my dad, who I thought was kind of a dork. I was on a family trip when I was 10 years old with my mom and dad to see a country show. Alabama was playing at the Buck Lake Ranch. It was 100 degrees and the sun was going down, and my ice cream had just done flopped on the ground, so I was eating what was left of the cone that was still in my hand. We were standing around waiting for the show to start just outside of this little park, and folks were coming in from everywhere to find their seats. When somewhere in the rush of a hillbilly crowd came this rumble that damn near shook the whole ground. That's when it started, and boy, I never will forget. Well, this motley of a crew was raising up a fit. They had tattoos and scars, and they were cussing and spitting. That's when my old man said, "Fellas, we got a family over here." Well, they all kind of stared at each other a while, and right about then I saw one of them smile. Then they all broke out in laughter and burst into tears. They sure got a kick out of my poor old dad and his brand new Dockers and a shirt made of plaid. But getting their kicks is just what they were looking for anyway. Well, they stood up together and they all gathered round, and they took turns looking my dad up and down. And then one monster of a man said, "What you gonna do about it?" Now my dad had a legend the size of Alaska. He was known for kicking ass from here to Nebraska, but since becoming a family man, he'd settled down a little bit. He wasn't very big, but his faith was strong, and he'd been slinging lumber for God knows how long, and you just knew this wasn't gonna turn out like it should. But you could tell by the look he had in his eye that he knew to walk away, but he just couldn't this time, and you could almost feel his blood as it began to boil. He turned to us and said, "Go wait in the car." Then Mom said, "Gary, now we've come too far. Let's just go find a seat, sit down, and enjoy the show." Well, he turned back to glance at the group, and he reckoned, "Just go on to the car, this won't take but a second." Well, that was it. Mama, she just took me by the hand. And I remember thinking, what the hell's he doing? It's 10 against 1, who's he think he's fooling? Well, then what happened next, as they say, is history. When we walked toward the light and he walked into hell, before I could blink, well, the first one fell, and they swallowed him up like a pack of wild hyenas. There was a clang and a clash, and I heard a bottle break, and then somehow one old boy ended up with a rake, and with a flick of the wrist, Dad stuck it where the sun don't shine. Sounded like applause coming from a dust cloud. For a second I was worried he might not make it out. Then I heard, "You son of a bitch," and I knew he was doing just fine. Yeah, fists were swinging and elbows were flailing, and when it was all said and done, those bikers were hightailing, and a big blur of leather passed us like a bat out of hell. We just reached the car when Mom turned around. The dust was just settling back to the ground. There stood Dad in a graveyard that kicked ass. It happened so fast we barely unlocked the van. It was over and done by the time it began, so we just locked her right back up and headed back towards Dad. There were a couple hundred yards between us and him. As we got close, the scene looked pretty grim. There were 6 or 7 bodies laid out there on the ground. He had a little scratch right there in his chin, and there was quite a bit of blood, but none of it was his, and couldn't help but notice that his shirt was still tucked in. Well, the transformation is what took me aback. He gave us a hug. Just like that, we were headed off towards the stage, and not a word was said. Yeah, the show was a hit. Everyone loved the band, but all I could do was just stare at my old man and replay that whole scenario again in my head. Needless to say, from that day on, it didn't take a lot for me to have my homework done, or the trash cleaned, or the lawn mowed, or the house painted up. It was straight A's from there on out. I said yes ma'am and sir and kept a watch on my mouth, and I did everything I could to make sure I stayed on his good side. That's about it as far as I can remember. I still can't get over the wrath of his temper. Boy, if you could have only seen the things I saw that day. To know him now, hell, you wouldn't believe me. He's a man of few words with his heart on his sleeve, but I'm giving you all fair warning of what lies beneath. Well, he'd much rather love you if you choose to let him, but you can bet he'll beat you if you ever bet him. He's a soft-hearted soul with an anvil for a right hand. And now the years have flown, and Dad's a little older, but there's still a lot of fire in them sent from silver shoulders, and if you think his day is past, well, you're on your own. Brand new bar in Nashville, and a bright new neon sign, where they think they have the answer to the changing of the times. I ordered up a whiskey and I took a look around, and there was something missing, so I headed back downtown. Jumped in my old pickup and drove down Music Road, where the streets of country music are no longer paved with gold. I made my way through Broadway, where the legends used to roam, and I could hear the heartache, but I couldn't feel the soul. I can hear that whistle blowing, but I still don't see the train. Those stars are brightly shining, ain't up on that stage. It could be my imagination or the legends deep inside. If you listen closely, you can hear the rhyme and cry. Walls are filled with memories, but there's a hollow spot inside where the flame was left to ember in the torch she left behind. Time and treasured loved ones were lost along the way, and all you hear are echoes from the songs of yesterday. I can hear that whistle blowing, but I still don't see the train. Those stars are brightly shining, ain't up on that stage. It could be my imagination or the legends deep inside. If you listen closely, you can hear the rhyme and cry. You can catch the sounds of Lefty, Hank Williams, and George Jones every time that haunted wind of the Grand Ole Opry blows.
That's our last song, y'all. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Thank you, TA, for having us. Thank you, truckers, for all you do. Love you guys.
I've got the pedal to the middle, kicking back behind the wheel, towing that purple sunset floaty in a long dark coupe de ville. Well, my baby's right here beside me, her pretty legs up on the dash, tearing down this highway, blaring out the soul of Johnny Cash. I've got the pride of Detroit City in my hand, staring out the windshield at the promised land. And I'm gonna follow where this road takes me, even if it never brings me back. Break a couple rules somewhere along the way. Take it where I can, because I know it wasn't meant to last. When I go, I hope they come take me away in a long black Cadillac. They said the way I was living, I'd never make it past 25. 30's just around the bend, and I've never felt so alive. And as long as this road's a winding, I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Live my life out loud until the good Lord calls me home. When I reach that dead end somewhere down the line, just close the lid and load me up inside. And I'm gonna follow where this road takes me, even if it never brings me back. Break a couple rules somewhere along the way. Take it where I can, cause I know it wasn't meant to last. And when I go, I hope they come take me away in a long black Cadillac. Follow where this road takes me, even if it never brings me back. Break a couple of rules somewhere along the way. Take it where I can, because I know it wasn't meant to last. And when I go, I hope they come take me away in a long black Cadillac.
Come on, baby. Let's go for a ride. You guys rock. Thank you. Did we get that everything that we need? Oh, the cameras weren't rolling. Awesome. Sweet. No. Everything good?
Yeah, it's still rolling.
What's that? Well, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, the one you were asking about earlier. If I can remember it. I got through Ballad of a Man Named Dad, so if I can remember all the words of that. Watch the best years of my life reflect off a whiskey glass. And I don't see much future in the image of my past. I love the life I've made. Oh, but that don't make it right. And I wonder, can I run in the dark and still walk in the light? I've been running hard and fast ever since I can recall. Leaning on the late night life, a woman's touch and alcohol. And praying what's inside my heart can overcome what's on my mind. Tell me, can I run in the dark and still walk in the light? Can I still count on heaven for all the things that I've done wrong? Will Jesus hold a place inside for this lost soul to tag along? I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but Lord, I can't afford to hide. So I'm asking, can I run in the dark and still walk in the light? I've learned I can't escape my conscience, so I've come to face my fears. There's a battle that I fight inside myself will never disappear. I still thank heaven every morning, but I still give it hell most every night. Tell me, can I run in the dark and still walk in the light? Can I still count on heaven for all the things that I've done wrong? Will Jesus hold a place inside for this lost soul to tag along? I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but Lord, I can't afford to hide. So I'm asking, can I run in the dark and still walk in the light? Lord, I'm stumbling through the gray between black and white. And I run in the dark and still walk in the light. Amen.
Thank you guys very much. We're going to hang out here for a little bit, so don't go anywhere. I want to say thank you and shake everybody's hand and give hugs and all that good stuff. Shake babies, kiss hands, right?